and all the things that you need. All right, so I'd like to know where you guys are joining in from in today's session. So, are you currently in the UK? Where are you currently based? Okay, Birmingham. Okay, awesome. That's good. That's awesome. Who else? Kiwian, do you want to share where you're joining in from? Nathaniel, UN, Opayemi. Okay, Opayemi just shared. So it's just Kiwian and the rest. But still expecting more people to join us today. But we'll just keep it we'll keep it straight to the point so that we know exactly how we can help you get started. Currently in Gateshead, if that's how to pronounce it. But okay, awesome, Kieran. Good to meet you, anyways. Nathaniel is in Nottingham. Okay, awesome. That's good. All right. Most of the guys here are in the UK. All right, that's good. All right, so I'll just do a little bit of background, okay, about who is the person facilitating today's session. So my name is Efemena Ipro. I'm the founder of CV Review, and today we're going to be focused majorly on talking about getting a job in the UK. So now, if you look for my own background, I'm in the tech space, so I've always been in the tech. Not always, but I was working in management consulting back home in Nigeria, relocated, and worked in Ireland for about 2 years. Moved to the UK, worked in the UK for about 3 years. Currently, I'm based in Canada. So I've worked for businesses literally everywhere, from the US to Canada to UK to even European EMEA region, okay, and that's been my experience. I've majorly focused on the data ecosystem, and that has been majority of my experience. So, but the key thing here is just to talking about foundation-wise, okay? So you see, when I relocated initially, I found it very difficult to get a job. I found it very, very super difficult to get in a job. And it wasn't of my own, it wasn't like it was a personal decision for me to say, it wasn't like somebody would teach you, these are the things you need to do when you relocate. Nobody really teaches you, upon relocating or upon getting yourself in a new country, you really don't know what to do to get a job. Okay. So most people like myself at the time, I was just trying to survive. So I was doing a menial job at the time. I did a menial job for over a year. I think about over a year. Okay. I was working in the warehouse and I was applying, and I was getting loads and loads of rejection. Now, the first thing I usually tell most people, and this is something I realized, by myself after over a year of application. All right. Now, the thing here is the moment you are getting lots of rejection emails, the only thing that you're getting is either you're getting ghosted or you're getting rejection emails, it means your CV is bad. It has nothing to do with your origin. So at the time, people would say that, oh, if Imena is because your name is not British, your name is not a white name. So that's the reason. Once they see that your name is not, they can't pronounce your name very well, they will give you a rejection email. That was the first thing. So a lot of people were advising I shouldn't use Ifemena, that I should use Michael, okay, which is my middle name. I should use Michael, as my name. That wants to see Michael will give me an advantage. It doesn't work that way. It's not your name. So if today you're in a boat where all you get is rejection emails and left unread, okay, you apply, you're left ghosted or no response at all, your CV is bad. All right. So now I'm not saying that you won't after today's session, okay, you're not going to be left ghosted. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to say today. All right, because the job boards, okay, take for example, one of the key roles I was super excited. I was telling the guys with one of the businesses I run at the moment, I was telling the guys yesterday that I applied I was living in Portsmouth at the time, okay, in the UK. So I lived in Portsmouth and I got a job with Dyson. I got I got to the final stage of Dyson, the brand, a very expensive, luxurious brand. So I got to the final stage of that interview. Now, guess what? I'd applied to Dyson earlier on in the year, okay, and they didn't reach out to me till 6 months. 6 months after I had applied. And they said they were just reviewing applications for that role. So you see, sometimes you're not being ghosted. Sometimes it just takes so long for them to give you a response that it feels like you're ghosted. All right. But the good thing here is you need to understand that The job market today responds to quality and experience. Those are the two things that it responds to. All right, those are the two things that the job market responds to. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk you through all the things you need to do in order for you to get, quality leads. Okay, so if you're excited to be here, guys, give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up. I'm going to keep it to 1 hour, just about an hour. Okay, just about 1 hour. Okay, so okay. Oh, so you don't need to raise up your hand. You can just, there's a reaction icon that gives you a thumbs up. All right. So let's jump straight into today's session. Okay, how to write a CV that guarantees you an interview. That interviews, actually, not just interview. Okay, that guarantees you interview in the UK job market. So I worked in the UK till I decided to relocate to Canada. And I'll tell you this: the UK job market is one of the most brilliant places to be. I'm in Canada, and I'll tell you this: it's not like the Canadian job market. Yes, there are things you can do in the UK, Canada. If you're in Canada or you know somebody in Canada, there are strategies you can deploy that will guarantee you get jobs faster. Okay, but in the UK, just you applying for jobs, you're going to be fine. Like, you don't need to do anything else apart from applying for jobs. From my own experience, because that's all I did. And I worked with quite a number of reputable firms in the UK, and did well. Honestly, did very well for myself. So today we're going to be focusing on how to write a CV that guarantees you an interview or interviews in the UK. Like I said, if all you're getting is rejection emails or being left ghosted, it's not because of your ethnicity, it's not because of your background, it's not because of your experience, it's not because of anything that you think it is. Your CV is just bad. And what I want to tell you today is, even an experienced person, somebody that has very good experience, has worked with good organizations, doesn't have a good CV, they will not be shortlisted. And I would explain that to you in a few minutes. Okay, I will explain to you why that will be the situation for somebody that even has. So if you're saying you don't have experience, for someone that has experience, they will also. And that's exactly what we're going to focus. That's what we're going to talk about in a few minutes. So CV Matchly, okay, CV Matchly, AI-powered platform, okay, that helps you basically tailor your resume to every job application that you want to throw out there, and basically positions you better an interview. Okay, but even CV Matchly, if you don't have a great CV, it's going to do its best to tailor your resume, but it's not going to give you the best. So at the end of the day, you still need a very good CV. You still need a good CV. All right. So AI cannot work absolute magic on your resume. Okay. So CV Matching will help you tailor your resume to the job description. It's a Google Chrome extension that allows you to do that very quickly. So rather, we did a quick math. So if you copy your job description and you take it to ChatGPT, for example, it takes you about 40 to 50 minutes for you to tailor your resume. So I'm not talking about just ChatGPT tailoring your resume. It's you updating your CV. It's you trying to, format your CV to align it properly. So usually it takes about 40 minutes, okay, for an average person to use ChatGPT to tailor their resume. But CV Matchly helps you do that, cuts that in more than half. Okay, you can actually be done with yours in like 10 minutes. So that's with you tailoring your resume, you tailoring your resume, you updating your CV, and you applying for the jobs all within 10 minutes. So it helps you. It does all the work for you, literally all the heavy lifting. It does all that for you, and that's CV Matchly. Okay, I'll show you a demo in a few minutes. That's another thing I'm going to show you. All right. Now, like I said, I gave a little bit of background about myself. I'm the founder of CV Matchly, co-founder to Analytics, co-founder to Amdari. So I would say in the last 5 years of my experience running these, platforms, I've helped well over 3,000 people transition into the tech space. But now CV Matchly helps people literally anywhere. So if you're in the tech space and you're not in the tech space, it really doesn't matter. The job market is pretty much the same thing. And the way I say it, the way I would want you to understand the job market today is, take yourself as a recruiter. Take yourself as somebody that wants to employ somebody. So take, for example, you have a party you want to go to this weekend. Okay? So this Saturday you have a party. Or let's say even next week Saturday you have a party. Okay, and you want to attend this party, and it requires that you wear a suit. Okay, so either a female suit or a male suit, you're required to dress corporate. You need to wear a suit. You need to wear a black suit. Okay, now you're going to go out there to look for a tailor that can sew a suit. Correct? That's what you're going to look for. That's you. The requirement is you need a black suit. You need a black suit. That's what you're going to go out there to look for. So now you meet the first tailor, and the first tailor knows how to sew trousers. Okay, that's their specialty. They know how to sew pound trousers, pants trousers, jean trousers, and everything. It's tailoring. It's still tailoring. Okay, but trousers, suits, you would likely not feel confident. You'll not feel confident giving that person the job. You meet the next person, and the person makes sweaters. Okay, sweaters. So knitted sweaters or any type of sweater, sweatshirts, designer sweatshirt, and all that. It's still sewing, but you won't give the person the job. Okay, you meet the third person, and this person is a shoemaker. Okay, the person also sews shoe, but you won't give the person the job. You won't give the person, would you? All right, until you find that person that knows how to sew a suit before you know that, oh, okay, I found the right person. So that's how the job market works. Okay, everybody is just looking for a perfect fit. Everybody, all the organizations, all the recruiters are looking for some certain things. Okay, so if you have a list of things in the job description, and most times they tell you everything is in the job description, we are looking for this type of person. Okay, if you're this type of person, apply. They've told you exactly what they're looking for. But most times we think that, oh, when they read my CV, they would know they can deduce I can do the job. Okay. They can deduce I can do the job. And that's one of the major, I think that's something that really hindered me personally when I was applying for jobs at the time. I had one very good CV. Okay. And I was using that one very good CV to apply. I would tailor it in a way, but it wasn't really tailoring. I would just make some adjustments to the job description and I would apply. And I was getting lots and lots of rejection emails. So remember, you want to sew a suit. You would not take any other person, any other tailor that sews a t-shirt, a shirt, a trouser, something else entirely, that sews anything else. You would look for somebody that sews a suit. Correct? That's how the job market works. Either you're in the tech space or you're not in the tech space. You're looking at becoming an accountant in the UK. There are things you need to have in order for you to get a job. If you're looking at becoming a financial, investment banker, for example, there are things you need to have in order for you to become an investment banker. They will not accept you if you just have the bare minimum. Okay, so you've done accounting before, but you want to become an investment banker. The skills, the requirements that you need to have in order for you to get a job, and those are the things that you need to explore today. Okay, so that's been my experience. So I've helped well over 3,000 people transition to the tech space. Most of them had no background in the tech space. So I've done it with hard, like very, very difficult people that, had no background, learned, and then they were able to pivot. So if you're here today and that's also you, don't worry, I'll work with you to see how you can get started. So, and that's been my experience. Anyways, I've worked with, different companies across the UK, US, Canada, literally across the world. My experience also spans different industries. So from financial services to logistics to med tech to ed tech to FMCG to entertainment and so on and so forth. All right. That's about it. All right. So now, what's the current flow of an applicant CV? Now, the reason why I want to start here, before I show you how to create a stellar CV, okay, you need to understand the job application process today in today's job market. Now, this is what most people think. Now, most people think the way you apply, this is how most people apply. All right. You see a job you like, okay? You see a job that you like, you jump on your system and you apply. It's as simple as that. That's what most people think. You see a job that you like, all right? Oh, I like this job. I feel like I can do this job. So I'm going to go ahead to apply for it. Then you apply. Your thought process is HR is going to see my resume. Okay. Your next thought process is HR will review my resume. And that's what most people think. So immediately you apply, you think that HR is going to read your email, okay, or read your application, and then decide if they will call you or not. So your thought process, when you're tailoring your resume is when they read my CV, they know I can do the job. When they review the CV, when they read it, they would know I can do the job. But guess what? All right, let me show you some stat. Let me share some very shocking statistics with you today. Now, for every job post, okay, for every job post, okay, out there. So when you go on LinkedIn and you see one job post, you see a job that you like, okay, for every job post, okay, application out there, the average applications that they would receive, okay, the average application they would receive is is above 250. All right. The average application is about 250. So one job post, they would receive on average 250 applications. HR that you see here does not have that time. These people don't have that time to review 250 applications. So you see, the premise of you expecting somebody to read and understand your CV is already flawed. All right, is 100% is flawed. Nobody's going to read to decipher, if you can do the job or not. All right, so that's not the case. It's not going to work. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work in the job market that way. Nobody's going to read your CV in order for you to be scheduled for an interview. Nobody is going to read your CV. Now, let me show you what really happens in the job market today. All right. So you see, reality is there is a robot that reviews your CV. And most of you probably have heard of this before. And it is ATS, Applicant Tracking System. Applicant Tracking System. So applicant tracking system, basically most of the job boards that you work with, so it could be the likes of Indeed, it could be the likes of LinkedIn, Greenhouse. Greenhouse is more or less like a HR platform. Same thing with Workday, same thing with Workable. Some of these platforms you are applying, you're putting all your information in there and you just apply. Okay. So you see that most of these platforms already use ATS. And what does it do? All right. Very quickly, it basically sieves out application. So you see, one job post, okay, would receive 250 applications. Okay, we receive 250 applications. Now, ATS would review 250 applications, would review these 250 applications and sieve them out. Okay, it's going to sieve them out to say that, okay, let's say, let's say 150 of this application does not, okay, doesn't meet the threshold. Okay, 150. So you see, 100 people would be reviewed by the HR recruiter. So what ATS does basically is to remove unwanted resume or unwanted applications. People that probably just went on easy apply and they just clicked on easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. I have one resume and I use that one resume to apply for like 20 jobs in a day. Easy apply, easy apply, easy apply. It's not going to work because ATS is going to be looking at certain things. Now, most job boards, I'll tell you, majority of the job boards that you use today literally have ATS. Either you go on the company website or you use a job board. They use what they call ATS to screen people's CV because HR doesn't have that time to be reading over 250 applications. It doesn't work that way. So nobody reads your CV. Okay, so you have one very good CV that you feel like if they read my CV, they will be able to deduce I can do the job. That's not going to work. It's 100% not going to work. All right. So now moving on to the next thing, okay, which is what does it care about? What does ATS care about? And this would factor into how you create your CV. This will factor into how you create your CV. Now, three major things that ATS will look at. Number one is the format and structure. Format and structure. So I'm going to go to a browser and I'm going to show you something real quick. Okay. I'm going to bring in the browser and I'm going to show you, CV design. Okay. I'll just go to CV design. So you see, when you design your CV in this kind of manner, for example, when you design your CV in this manner, you are going to be, honestly, you're not going to be rejected because you're not experienced. You're going to be rejected because of the format of your CV. Okay, like this also, if you have this kind of resume, it looks fine and beautiful and nice, but it's literally you are just going to be rejected because of the format of your CV. And I'll tell you the reason why. When you have something like this that looks so good, it looks like you're, I mean, this will get you rejected, even even without you without you stressing yourself. It's gonna basically just shoot you out. Okay. Now, format and structure is very important. Now, what should you aim for? You should aim for minimalist designs. Okay. So you see designs that are very minimal formatting, something like this, very straight to the point, very minimal and all that. And I'll tell you the reason why this works 100%. All right. So you don't want any separate things from each other. Okay. So you see anything that's a minimalist design, minimalist. So I'm going to show you my template anyways. Okay. But essentially what you're looking for is something that is minimal designs. That's what you're looking for. So you see stuff like this, and this is minimalist design, very straight, just words, and that's the end. All right. So that's what we have there, minimalist designs. Okay. That's what you want to work on. Why? So now why won't the earlier one work? Why won't this kind of CV? Why won't it work? Now let me explain something to you. Now, when you're reading, when humans read, or when things are being scanned, so there are two ways a document is being scanned. There are two ways a document is being scanned, and I'm going to show you, proof. Okay, all right. When you're reading, you're either reading in this manner. You read the first line, you move down a little bit, you read the next line, you move down a little bit, you move the next line, and that's how you read. So you're moving this is what we call F method. Okay, so most times review happen in the F method, or the other way around is what you call the Z method. So you move like this, you read like this, you move this way, you read again, you move this way, you read again, you move this way, you read again. So is either the F method or the Z method. Okay, so now let me use Google to back up my experience, this explanation for you. All right. So if I go to my browser again and I check something, okay, CV review, you can Google it yourself and read about it, so you know that this is not just me sharing, whatever I feel. CV review. So we have the F method, F and Z method. Z review methods. All right. So you see here, and it's been a study. It's like a major study. Okay. It's a major study, and this is how you should write. And that's why a minimalist CV is the best. So if you take a look at this, for example, you have someone reads this, they calm down, they read this, they calm down, read this, and that's all right. That's how everything goes. The Z method, on the other hand, Z motion, is you read the top line, you move to the next line, you read again, you move, and that's basically the F and Z method. So the moment you have all those very fancy designs that have so many things on either the left side or on the right side, it gets lost in transit. Okay, it gets lost in transit. Okay, so that's where you focus. The format and structure should be on the minimalistic design rather than all those very fancy, very boxy. They have shapes everywhere, they have different designs and all that. That's just not going to work. Are you guys following me? Let me see if you guys are, if you're all on the same page. Okay, Are we on the same page? Just give me a thumbs up by me, okay? Who else? Let me see. Kieran, okay. Just two people, actually. Interesting. All right. So anyway, let me see. Okay, which is okay. Thank you. All right. So the next thing is keywords. Okay, keyword is also very important, and this is where I'm going to show you something very interesting about keyword. Now, if I take, I'm going to go to a job board today. I'm going to go on Indeed, for example. Okay, Indeed, and I'm going to look for a job. Okay, I'm going to look for a job. So let's say I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for, let's say, a business analyst role, business analyst. Okay, and I'm going to search for a job. Now, take for example, I want to apply for this business, let's say this business systems analyst role. Okay, I want to apply for this role. Now, most times, most people just glance through it, okay? Or maybe you even read it in detail, but you see, responsible for business process review, leading to recommendations for process change, including a new whatever, everything is there. You read everything, qualifications, experience, specialized training and licenses, and all these are there. So what these people have done, okay, what this organization, City of London, has done is they've told you exactly what they are looking for. They've told you exactly. It's like you go for an examination, and the examiner, has given you the questions, but they've also given you the answer. All right. They've given you the question. They say they are looking for somebody to fill this role. That's the examination. Also giving you the answer, which is the information that you see here today. All right. All the information that you see here today is what they've given you. This is the answer to you passing, you getting into this role. This is the answer that you're looking for. But now you see a lot of people will come up. I'm going to show you CV Matchly now in a few seconds. All right. So I'm just going to upload my CV. I'm going to walk you through the process. So I'm going to remove my CV and I'm going to upload it again. So the good thing about CV Matchly is it extracts the job description by default. You don't need to do that manually yourself. It will do that by itself automatically. All right. I'm going to click on upload a CV. Okay. And I would upload one of the test CV, a random test CV I have on the application, preferably in PDF. So if you ever apply for a job, please always apply using PDF. Never apply using a Word document. Always use a PDF document. Okay. So even using any AI tool, using any platform, always work with a PDF document. So I'm going to click on the test CV. All right. And I'm going to analyze the resume. So once I click on analyze, it's going to analyze the resume against the job description. It will analyze the resume against the job, sorry. It's going to analyze the resume against the job description. Okay. And it will tell you the keywords, matched keyword, and the missing keywords. So data analysis is a keyword that usually, and that's what I was talking about when I said keywords, okay? When I was talking about keywords. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm trying to go back to where I was. Okay, yes, keywords. So these are the keywords I'm referring to. Missing keywords, you have SharePoint Online, you have Nintex, you have Power Automate, you have business process review, project management, and so many people would not know that these are actual, actionable keywords that should be on their resume. Okay, so most times you just see people just tweak one or two things. They have 4 technologies listed. They try to add those 4 technologies and they're done. That's the end. But it doesn't work that way. So you see, once you've analyzed, you can come to optimize the resume, okay? And I'll click on generate. So it gives you a score also. I need to say that. It gives you a score. So that's 48%. So now if I'd used the CV to apply for this job, there is no way I should be expecting the callback. There is absolutely no way I should be expecting a call back because this is not even up to 70%. Okay, so I'll click on optimize and then I'll click on generate optimize resume. Okay, so once it is optimizing, Okay, it takes about 20 seconds, less than 20 seconds. I think about 10 to 15 seconds on average. It's Word, optimize your resume. And what does optimizing mean? It basically means that it has taken your resume, your CV, and it has taken the job description and it has perfectly tailored your resume to the job application. Okay, it has perfectly tailored that resume you uploaded. It has perfectly aligned it to the job that you want to apply for. Remember, in a situation where you need to sew a suit, you need to look for somebody that has experience sewing a suit, not somebody that you feel can sew a suit, not somebody that you think can sew a suit, not somebody you can deduce can sew a suit. You need somebody that can show you proof that they've sewn a suit before. That's exactly what you need to do. And that's what CVM actually does for you by looking at those keywords that are very important, okay, that you're searching for. All right. The keywords are missing on the job description, and it will help you optimize your resume to help you get that optimized resume. So that's basically what it is. So if I take a look at another one, this is FP&A data analyst. For example, I'll click on CV Matchly, I'll click on analyze CV, and it will start to analyze the CV. This takes about 5 seconds. All right. And analyzing the CV, it will come up with a score. Now, this is a 68% score, slightly better than the other one, but I usually tell people get yourself to at least a 90% for a good chance of a callback. Get yourself to a 90%, and that's what CV Match does for you. So keywords are match, you see data analysis, communication, ERP, SAP, and all that. Keywords are missing, FP&A, financial planning, driver-based forecasting, budgeting, variance analysis, EPM software, and so on and so forth. So what you want to do, click on optimize again, and I'll click on generate optimize CV. This takes about 20 seconds. So the first one takes about a few seconds, 5 seconds. This one takes about roughly 15, 20 seconds. So give or take in under a minute, you can review your CV against the job description, and you could also generate an optimized CV. You can do these two things in just under a minute. Okay. So rather than using the same CV to apply consistently, you can easily just generate an optimized CV in 20 seconds. That's exactly what we're trying to do. That's what we're focusing on. All right. And it's ATS compliant, ATS friendly, and those are the things that you need to consider. Now, keyword, very important. Now, if you're following me, please just give me a one in the chat. I want to be sure that you guys are listening to me, please. All right, give me a one. Just type a one in the chat. So either a thumbs up or a one will do. Okay, so just give me a one if you guys are listening to this. All right, Esther, awesome. Good to hear from you. Good to see that. Okay, four. Oh, okay. It's the same people every single time. All right, awesome. All right, please ensure you fill the attendance so you can get access to the recording of this session. Okay, so you can get access to the recording. Please ensure you fill the attendance form. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so you see, chronology is the third thing that we have there. Chronology is the next thing that we have there. Now, what is chronology? Okay, what is chronology? I would explain this to you in a very few. I'll explain this in a practical way. So now, take for example, you want to apply for an accountant role. I don't know how many, I think I should have asked people what career path they are in, so it's easier for me to, all right, to work with them. So let's say you're an accountant, all right, an accountant, and on the job description, okay, they say they need somebody with 4 years of experience, okay, um, 4 years of experience with let's say financial modeling, okay, with financial modeling, okay, 4 years of experience with financial modeling. Now, your resume, on your own resume, okay, I'm trying to draw it CV. This is a CV. I'm trying to draw a CV. On your resume, you have your professional statement. That's usually the first thing that you have there. Professional statement, aside your name, anyways. Okay, professional statement. That's the first thing. Then the next thing is your core slash technical skills. Okay, that's the next thing. Then the next thing that you have is your professional experience. Okay, professional experience. Okay. Now, what most people would do is in the job requirements. Okay, in the job requirements, they said they need somebody that has 4 years of financial modeling skills. So what most people would do is, if they don't have financial modeling on their resume, they will come to the core and technical skills, delete one of them that is there before, and add financial modeling. And they would add financial modeling. Okay? They will add financial modeling. And once they do that, they'll close their laptop, they'll auto save, download it as PDF, and then apply for the role. So the only when people tailor, this is what they mean by tailoring. They will just add this keyword into their resume and they're done. Now, chronology is is built to help you to remove you. It's built to remove you. Okay, if you do like if this is you, chronology is built to remove you. Now let me explain. So what really happens is, if you do this, if you just come here to add your just one keyword, you add those keywords to this. The maximum years of experience, when I say maximum years of experience you will get, okay? The maximum years of experience you will get for doing this in your core and technical skills, the maximum you get is 6 months of experience. The maximum you can ever get would be 6 months of work experience. So if you want to quickly tailor your resume, so they said they need financial modeling, you just commit to your core and technical skills and you write financial modeling and you leave. The maximum you can get is 6 months of work experience. So you see sometimes you tailor your resume in this manner and you feel like you've done a great job. They're looking for financial modeling. Financial modeling is in my CV, but they still sent me a rejection email. This is the reason why. Because they've seen you as a beginner. You only have 6 months of experience. So, and it's the reason why you're getting a rejection email. Now, what chronology does is it would also look at your years of experience. So let's take, for example, you're currently working with, let's use a company. Let's say you worked with, just looking for a name, okay? Let's say you worked with Amazon, okay? I'm just using Amazon because that's the only thing I can see near me. All right. So Amazon, you worked at Amazon as a financial analyst, okay, and you worked there for let's say 1 year, okay. Now in your job responsibility, if you go ahead to mention financial modeling, okay, financial modeling, okay, or financial model or financial modeling, it will assign you the years of experience that you worked there. It will assign financial modeling, okay? It will assign financial modeling, okay? Another 1 year of experience. So just you mentioning it in your job responsibility, it will give you 1 year. It will give you that 1 year for financial modeling. Now, if the next year you worked with Lagos State government, okay? Lagos State government, okay, whatever it is, okay. So you worked here as an accountant, okay, and in this accounting role, you also did something that has to do with financial modeling, okay. And you did another financial modeling, and you were there in this organization. You were there for about let's say 2 years, okay. Because you mentioned financial modeling again in this particular role, okay, what would happen? Chronology will assign financial modeling another 2 years of experience. Okay, so cumulatively now you have 3 years and the 6 months from the one above. Okay, so that was basically 3 years and 6 months. Okay, not up to 4 years. But in most cases, they would usually, for this 4 year job, they would take in people from either 2.5, from my own experience, from 2.5 years of experience, okay, to 5 years, okay, of experience. Now, the reason why this is the case, the reason why they were taking people between the year 2.5 years to 5 years is for somebody that has 2.5 years of experience, okay, this role would be exciting for the person, will be exciting, it will be challenging for the person. Okay, it will be challenging for the person. Challenging in the sense that it is, it's a step ahead of me. I'm excited to do it, and so on and so forth. The reason why they're also good for somebody that has 5 years of experience is it's not far away from 4 years. It's not totally far away from 4 years. Okay, it's not far away from 4 years. It means this is also going to be, they're also looking for somebody that has experience, okay, that is willing to stay on the role. Okay, somebody that has experience and is willing to stay on the role. But now, if you have 4 years of experience, they're looking for 4 years of experience. But when they do the calculation, you have, let's say, 9 years of experience. Okay, you cannot get this job. It's not a course. In the UK, you cannot get this job. With 9 years of experience, or let's even say 7 years of experience, you can't get this job. And I usually say this: if you want to kill a house fly, you want to kill a fly, all right? You want to kill a fly, all right? You cannot get a bazooka to kill a fly. You can't bring a you can't bring armor to kill a fly, all right? That's exactly what you're using when you say you have 7 years of experience, or 9 years, or 10 years of experience. But the role is just requiring you 4 years. You don't need 10 years to apply for a 4 year role. That's you using bazooka to kill a fly. But that's essentially the mathematics of chronology. Now, do you understand? So you just applying for your CV and you're just putting one keyword in the maximum you get is 6 months of work experience. And that's why it's imperative for you to put these keywords around your CV that would guarantee you more years of experience that is required for you to get the role. All right. And that's essentially how chronology works. And that's what CV actually does for you. Long story short. So those important keywords, it needs to align them to key places in your resume that will be important for you to stay relevant and get a call from a recruiter. Okay. That's essentially the case. All right, so that's chronology. Okay, so now essentially breaking it down for you to understand it better. So when you see a job application online, ATS will be the first to read out the wanted CV. Then HR will read your CV, and then you are scheduled for an interview. So you see the hurdle that you need to climb here is this ATS. It's not your village people. All right, it's not because you're not experienced. It's not because you don't have the right certification. It's not because of whatever you think the problem is. The problem is just your CV cannot get past this thing, this 8 years. So you keep applying, applying, applying. But remember the three things that we talked about. Can anybody remember these things that we've talked about so far? When you're looking at 8 years, what are the three things that you can do into consideration? Let me see people that are following me. Let me see people that are following me. Let's see. What are the three things, guys? Anybody want to share those three things that you need to consider? Anybody, anybody, anybody,
I
anybody.
think you said chronology was the last one.
Yeah, chronology was the last one. Any other thing from anybody else? And nobody remember keyword. Keywords was also something I mentioned. And the last one is structure and the format of your CV. Beautiful. Opeyemi, thanks a lot for that. And thanks UN. UN, what does UN mean? Is that Uchechukwu? Is the U stand for
It's
Uche?
Uzo. It's Uzo.
Ozo. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good to hear that. Okay. So now let's move on to the next thing, okay? Which is going to be focused on, how many seconds it takes a recruiter to read your CV. So you see, the first order was for you to pass through ATS. That was the first order. All right. Now the next order is recruiter also no get time. They don't have time. They don't have that time to read your CV like a novel, like a novel, or like Harry Potter's books, or books and all that. They don't have the time to read verbatim what you have on your CV. So what they're doing also is scanning your CV. All right. So it takes an average of 6 to 7 seconds for a recruiter to scan your CV. So you see, 8 years has first given you a dick. Now, human being, they give you a dick. Okay, in the sense that it's only taking them 6 seconds to read your CV. Now, what are they looking for in 6 seconds? What is the person going to read in 6 seconds? They're not going to read, like I said, they're going to scan. And when they're scanning, what are they looking for? They are looking for key words. They are looking for key words. And I say this every single time. Okay, let me go back a little bit so I can explain something to you. I want to write. Okay, so you see, when you're applying for a job, because you don't have UK experience, or because you want to show that you have UK experience, because you want to show that you have UK experience, you now put warehouse operative. You put it on your resume. That's, oh, I'm currently working as a warehouse operative. Okay, with, let's say you're working with what's the popular one? DPD. I worked in DPD, so yeah. Um, you're currently working as a warehouse operative with DPD, or you're currently working in a care home, okay, as a carer, okay. You just want to show them that you're currently working in the country, so you put all these menial jobs on your resume. You're currently working with McDonald's, okay, currently working with McDonald's, and you put it on your resume as, you know, current work experience. Once the person sees that, you are not going anywhere. It's not even possible. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Okay. So you see, in that 6 to 7 seconds, they are just looking to they're just scanning your CV to make sure, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Okay. So you see, job title, I would say in this kind of situation, job title is very, very significant. So you want to become a, let's say, a business analyst, for example. I think the next question I'm going to ask is, what career paths do you guys want to go into? All right. So I'm not just using generic names. I'm using the ones that would favor you better. So your job, the job you want to apply to is business analyst. But your experience, you start as you put here, you start as an admin assistant. Okay. Okay. Then from admin assistant, you moved into a teacher. Okay. From a teacher role, okay, you now moved into, let's say you moved into a clerk, okay, and from clerk, you now put business analyst, okay, or let's say teller, you go a job with a bank, so teller, okay, so admin assistant, or what do you call it now? Executive virtual assistant, whatever, virtual assistant. You move from virtual assistant to teacher, from teacher to clerk or teller in a bank, okay? And all of a sudden, you just got a job title, business analyst. Not gonna work. They ask people have to see that there's a progression. So that's what HR in that 6 to 7 seconds, they're just looking at things like this. They're looking for tools, okay? That you see the tools. They're looking for names, name of roles, name of job titles that you have. Those are the things they're scanning for. So in that 6 seconds, nothing, they're not reading. They're just looking for a reason to read your resume. They are look that 6 to 7 seconds is just for them to read. They are scanning them to get to see, should I read this person's CV? So, like I said, this is the minimalistic design that we're going to be working with for today's session. Okay, we're almost 1 hour into the session, so I'll try to keep it. I will try to keep it within an hour. Okay, or if possible, within 10 minutes more extra. Okay, so this is the CV that we have here, and this is the CV that we're going to be using for today's session. Okay, so there are 5 critical parts of every CV. So if you want to design your CV, there are 5 critical parts you need to focus on. You have the professional summary, you have the core skills, you have technical skills, you have professional experience, and you have relevant project or internship. Relevant project or internship. Now, majority of the jobs I've ever gotten, from supply chain to medical technology to all the works I've done, it was true relevant projects. Okay, majority of them were true relevant projects. Okay, so most people feel like projects are not quality experience, but that's what you feel, not what the industry feels. And the best way for me to explain this again to you is, let's use a tailor. It's also tailor. Let's use a tailor. For example, you have a friend of yours that you just see in that, you go to work, or this colleague in your workplace that knows how to if sew dress so wonderfully. So if it's a guy, the guy knows how to sew a native wear very well. So knows how to sew a clothes very well. Knows how to sews clothes very well. A lady also, you see a girl in the office that sews clothes very well. Now you ask the person the question, who made this clothes for you? And the person says, oh, I made it myself. I made it for myself. Oh, and it looks good on the person. You're like, wow, where the first time? Where's it the second time? You're likely gonna ask the person, bro, or or lady, could you make this for me? Now, this person wasn't hired to get this experience. The person built that experience in the confines of their room, not in the confines of some fashion designer. They learned in their room. But you trust them. You trust them with your own material because you've seen that the person can do it. And you probably ask a few questions. How long does it take you? How do you design this? How did you get this pattern? How did you do this? And the person answers your questions. You're like, oh, fantastic. Please, can you do one for me also? It's the same way in the job market. So if you want to become okay, at this point, let me even know the career paths people are coming into, or people career paths that we can help you out with. So what career paths are you currently looking at pivoting into or getting into? What career paths are you looking at getting into? Human resource analyst, beautiful. I love that. That's a very beautiful role. All right. So human resource analyst is definitely an in-demand one in the UK. All right, very in demand. Now, a lot of people will not know that that's HR analyst. Okay, so that's HR analyst. So there are different naming terminologies that you can work with. Okay, there's the HR analyst, there is the talent analyst, there is benefit analyst, there is compensation analyst. There's so many within that role itself. IT service desk analyst. Okay, that's also pretty good. All right, that's more support related. So we'll talk about that. We'll discuss all of this. Okay. So, relevant project experience is also could be your own personal project. Okay, personal project that you worked on. That's it, as long as it's relevant to the role. That's what matters. Okay. So the professional summary, core and technical skills, professional experience, and then you have relevant projects and internship experience. That's exactly what gets you noticed very quickly. Now let's go straight into it. I'm going to send this file to you. If you attend today's session, I'm going to send this file to you, and you please ensure that you get access to what do they call it. Ensure you fill the form so you can get access to the templates that I'm going to share with you. All right. So once you get the file, you click on download CV template. Click on it. Okay. It's going to open up in a Google. It's going to open up in a Google Drive like this in a OneDrive. All you need to do is click these three ellipses. You'll see download. All right. You see download here also. Sorry. Just see the download here. You see the download button. All you need to do is click here to download it. It's going to download as a Word document, So all you need to do once you get access to the document, that's why I say you should fill the form so you can get access to these CV templates. Click the link here. It will open up in this format, and then all you need to do is download. So once you click on download, it will automatically go ahead for you to download the resume. Okay, and that's all you need to do. You see the download button here. Click on download, and automatically you'll see download. It was downloaded. So the name of the CV is Damilola for Bessie. All right, add more stew. You get me? Add more stew. All right, so you see, this is a resume, very simple, very minimalistic design. And that's what we're going to be using for today's session. So, name, location. You don't need to put your. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes, but you don't need to put your full in there. Okay, phone number, email address, and then your LinkedIn profile, also very important. Very, very important. So once you click on this, it should be able to take you to your LinkedIn profile. Now, you have the professional summary. From professional summary, then you have the core and technical skills. From there, you also have professional experience. And at the end of the day, you also have related freelance work experience. So that's where you put in your project, you put in your project or internship experience, and so on and so forth. Then last is professional education and certification and all the things that you have. That's the last thing that you put on your resume. Don't stress yourself, okay? All right, don't go and put these certifications and all this education. Don't come and put it at the top. It's just a waste of time, okay? So what you want is professional summary, core and technical skills, professional experience, related project experience, and education, professional summary, and all that. All right. So now, once you download the resume, okay. So once it is downloaded, I'm gonna open it up. Okay. I'm going to open up. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to edit, enable editing, and that's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. You'll get access to this. Now, let's go straight into it. So once you download the PDF, once you download the CV template, I'm just going to go ahead to move to the next slide. Now, what I've done is to help you come up with one standard CV. I've helped you develop the prompt that you can use to come up with one standard CV. Now, this one standard CV, take for example, if you are, let's use the guy, the HR analyst, okay? Just give me a second. Okay, yes, beautiful. Now, if you're an HR analyst, so you're going into HR analytics, for example, you see this. Now, you can create a CV that would be number one, use the prompt to create that of an HR analyst. Okay. Now, HR analyst and compensation analyst are two different people. Compensation analyst. Now, you also need to understand the job markets. So if I remember, Taiwo or Okoyeni said they're in the UK. Or where? Birmingham. Okay, fantastic. So Birmingham, Manchester, these are all places very closely related to themselves. I live in Manchester also. So if I go on the job board today, let me just open my browser. Okay, let me just get this browser open. Okay, so if I go to the job board today, I'm going to clean up what I have here. Need a cursor. Okay, so how many minutes? 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Okay, let me just quickly get this done. So what I want to do now is I want to go to a job board. Okay, so I'm going to look at, the popular one, read.co.uk. All right, or any one of your choice. Okay, so now once I come here, I can look at HR analyst. Okay, and I want to see volume. I want to see how many roles are available at the moment. Okay, so for HR analyst, for example, date posted, I can look at that, see 213 was posted today. Okay, in the last 3 days, 946, which is not bad. And last week, in a week, you have 1,400 roles that were open. That's very good. Okay, that's very good. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to focus on the ones that came out today. Okay, that's what I'm going to just focus on first off. So I have quite a number of them. There's the HR system and data manager. There's the HR. Okay, so these are all HR related roles. So in when I'm creating my CV, I would have one that is HR analyst, like I said. Okay, I would have one that is centered around HR. Okay, analyst, HR analyst. Now the next thing also is, let's say the other roles I know I can do. Okay, the next one will be compensation. Okay, compensation analyst. All right, so I'll go again to my job board. Okay, and I will look at this, and this is part of what you call navigating the job market, because if you need to understand the kind of roles that you can apply to. Okay, so now what I'm going to look for is compensation. Compensation. If you want me to use your job, please put it in the comments so I can use yours. Okay. compensation analyst. Okay, sorry. All right, so you see there's a payroll and benefit coordinator, there's a performance-based pay associate, there's a payroll and benefits officer, revenue and benefit manager, HR specialist, this is maternity cover, this is payroll. So you see payroll is a big thing. So compensation. So if you're looking at getting into something that's entirely, let's say, compensation and benefits, so they can be together, okay? Let's say another role is another very popular role in HR would be talent, okay, or people, talent and people analyst. So you see HR and people, talent acquisition, okay. Another key one is recruitment. So if you're looking at recruitment also, okay, or recruitment analyst or anything like that, your recruitment analyst. So you see quite a number of other recruitment roles, recruitment analyst roles, okay? And all you need to do is have three separate CVs, okay? You would need three separate CVs. And I'm going to show you how to do that very, very quickly, okay? I'm going to show you how to do that very quickly. So what I've done for you is to give you a master prompt that would help you come up with this resume, come up with this CV. So once you fill the form, you'll get access to the prompts. Okay, you'll get access to the prompt. So let's quickly do one or maybe two, and then I'll get going to it. Okay. So what you want to do is copy this prompt, and I would say you should go to your browser. Okay, I'm going to open up ChatGPT, and then I will show you what to do next. Okay, it takes less than a minute. Okay, all right. So the CV that you downloaded, the one I told you about to download. Okay, so once you've downloaded that CV, click on the plus icon to attach it. Okay, you see add photo or file. I'm going to add it. Okay, so if you can add it, if you can convert it to PDF, that would be very good. Okay. If you can't, you could also try to do that and see what happens. But it's preferably you use a PDF document. Okay. I'm going to click on open. And these are the things, I mean, if you have any challenges with this, you could always send us an email. I'm going to share the email that you can. If you have any challenges, you could always send us an email. So now the prompt, basically, this is the prompt. So let me go back to my presentation so you know exactly what you need to change. Okay, so you see, you are an elite CV strategist, CV optimization expert, and hiring manager with 15 plus years of experience recruiting. You need to put in the role. So in this kind of situation, let me see, has anybody put in another, let's say, IT support desk analyst. So that's what Taiwo wants to become. All right. So in that insect role, you would put in, you see this insect role, you put in that IT support, IT service desk analyst. Now, what country are you looking for a job? Let's say the United Kingdom. So I'm going to put UK. I'm going to put UK. Now, on the prompt again, you will see anywhere that you have yellow, that's where you need to change. Okay? So it follows, if you're in the UK, please leave only UK there. Even in the US, always only put US. Even Canada, only just put Canada in there. Okay? So best practice formatting. Very, very important. All right. So I'm going to change it to just UK. So ensure it follows UK best practice formatting. So that's the only three things you need to change. Three things: insert the role, insert your country, and filter to your own personal country. So if it's UK, US, or Canada, or anywhere in Europe or anywhere in the world, or in Nigeria, put it there and click on enter. So now what this will do is it will take a look at your resume, okay? It will take a look at your CV, and it will look at that job description you provided. It will look at the country, and it will develop the right thing for you. Okay. Now this is it. So this is it here. IT service desk analyst. with 5 years of experience providing first and second line technical support within enterprise environment, proven ability to manage incidents, resolve hardware and software issues, and deliver high quality customer ITIL best practice. Experience in Active Directory, Office 365, ticketing systems, and so on and so forth. All right. Core competencies that you need to put, okay, both technical and non-technical, you have it here. So you see core skills, this is what you have. Technical skills that you need to put on your resume, this is what you have. Professional experience, this is the main part. This is the main part you need to understand. Resolved 30 to 40 technical incidents per day during using ServiceNow, achieving 95% SLA compliance. Provided first and second line support for 500 end users across Windows and Microsoft 365 environment. Now, these things are just for you to. The reason for this is for you to have one standard CV. All right. Now, once you have that one standard CV, so what you want to do in this kind of situation is you've already downloaded the Word document. You have this Word document. All you need to do is fine tune it to your own, fine tune it. They've given you all the information that is there. All you need to do is fine tune it. So in this situation, my name is Michael James. So I'm going to put here Michael James. I'm going to change this to Michael. Okay. James. All right. Lagos, this I'm changing this to Manchester, United Kingdom. So I'm gonna change this to Manchester, United Kingdom. All right. Okay. Sorry. All right. Phone number, you can change the phone number, email address, you change the email address, LinkedIn profile, you right click and you see edit hyperlink. So edit hyperlink, you can change it to your own, just copy and paste your LinkedIn URL in there. So for professional summary, you literally have it here. Okay. So you see all the information about professional summary, it's all there. So I'm going to copy this. Okay. And I'm going to paste it in here. Okay. Okay. So that's what it is. So you can decide to do two paragraphs, you can decide to do one full paragraph, it doesn't change anything. Okay. So once you have that core and technical skills, put it in there, and all the things, the core competency and technical skills are required, and all the things are there. And once you have done that, you would have a CV. You would have a standard CV. Now, is that a CV that you use to apply for all your jobs? 100% no. That's just for you to have a standard tailored resume. Tailored resume in the sense that it is tailored to the career path you want to go into. So if you're a data analyst, it will focus on data analytics. If it is IT support desk, it's going to be that. If it is training and development, that's exactly what you do. Okay. Yes, there's a recording of the session, so you could always check. Just ensure you fill the attendance form so you can get access to the recording. All right. So now moving on to the next thing. Okay. So once you have that, once you've done that, all you need to do is know at the back of your mind that every job post are wish lists. If I said what kind of car do you want to drive today, you would wish you were driving a very fancy car, or maybe you would drive it. There's a wish you would literally wish for the best car possible. All right. So the same thing too. This job market, in job market, recruiters are looking for unicorns. Okay, they are looking for unicorns. So in the sense that they are looking for like one of the jobs I got, okay, they were looking for somebody that knew how to use Python, JavaScript, Java, could write in different languages, could has experience with this weird tool and so on and so forth. And eventually I applied for the job and I got the job. And I was looking at the job description again and I was like, how did I get this job? So all these things, and I got the job. What was I using in the job? Microsoft Excel. That was 100% of the things I was doing was in Microsoft Excel. So you see, if I had not applied for that job, I wouldn't have gotten it. I wouldn't. It's impossible. It's not possible. All right. So you see, job posts are wish list, and there is no harm applying to all these jobs. There is no harm. The highest you get is a rejection email, or a little bit embarrassed when you go for an interview and you don't know what to say. That's the worst case scenario. But nobody will persecute you for applying for a job that is above you. Nobody can take you to prison or take you to court, all right, for doing that. So you see, there has to be a perfect sync. Remember, when you're applying for a job, you're going to go out there you're going out there in search of a suit, somebody that can sew a black suit. So what happens? You're going to be asking every question possible to get somebody that can sew a black suit. Same thing in a job post. These guys are going to be looking at your resume and they're going to be looking at their own job description. They're going to be looking at their own job description and they're going to be looking at your resume. Can this person do the job? There has to be a perfect sync. And that's exactly where CV matching comes in. All right. CV matching comes in. So when you're working with ATS, you want to avoid fuzzy words or fluffy words. Something like I'm a goal-oriented seeker or goal-oriented. Those are fluffy words. Okay, fluffy words that does cannot be measured. You say you're goal-oriented. How do we know that? How do we measure it? Okay, you say you are a pressure, you can work under pressure. There's no way anybody can measure those things. Okay, so those are what we call fuzzy words. Okay, now important keyword should appear 2 to 3 times on your CV. Chronology, remember what we said. Okay, add a list of competencies and also fix your work experience, and that's exactly what CV Match is going to do for you. So basically, every company that's out there works with ATS. They all work with ATS. So if you don't have a tool that can help you bypass ATS, so that when they even read your CV, they will know that okay, this person has tailored their resume exactly to the job description. So there's nothing else they want to do than let us speak to this person. We need to speak to this person. So you need to create a portfolio or a resume, or you need to leverage CV match in this instant that will help you guarantee you that interview. And that's exactly what we're doing. So you see, I've shown you the live demo of how to use CV Matchly. I'm just gonna do it one more time. Let's take for example, this time around I use IT support desk, for example. So you could use read.co.uk for example. You could use read. I'm going to take IT. Let's use training and development. Somebody talked about training and development. You're looking for a job as a training and dev. So there are other names for training and development also. If I remember, I did HR anyways, so that's the only reason why I would remember. Training and development, they've changed it from training and development to something else. What is it? So comes to my head. So for training and development, you see, you have quite a number. You have training manager, training manager. These are very good. These are GXO logistics. Okay, that's not a bad role. Uh, Training and development, there are so many roles in here. Okay, they posted 1,000 roles were posted today. 1,000 jobs were posted today. Training officer, training officer, training officer, training and competence manager, just 60 to 70 pounds. So let's take a look at this. So now for this, now I want to apply for this job. For example, I want to apply for this job. So what would I do? I'll click on CV Matchly. My CV has been attached already, so I'm using the same CV. So if you want to upload a new CV, you can always just click the X. It will take out the CV and you can upload a new resume. All right. So now this is 18%. Obviously, it's not a training manager, it's not a training and competence manager CV. That's the reason why you need that prompt. So you can have like one standard CV for training and development. Now, if you want to go into something else, you need to create another CV. Don't use training and development for everything. All right. Create one to the career path that you want to go into. All right. So this 18%, keywords missing. level four diploma in financial planning, TNC manager, FCA requirement, financial advisor, blah 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 blah. All right. So basically, that's what you're looking for. I'm going to click on optimize. I will click on generate optimize CV. Now, the good thing about CV Matchly, this is just one side of the. This is just one side of what makes it, your best application buddy. All right. Now, I just want this to be done. Okay. So you can click here, download the resume, and once you click on this, uh, about. So experience and manager, you see, basically it's tailored it, for example, to this. So you see certain keywords that needs to be in your resume, like FCNA requirements. It will appear a couple of times in your resume. So it shows that it gives you the right years of experience for that particular skill set. C. Conduct formal advisor of the observations, one-on-one coaching, structured assessment, so on and so forth. So if you read the resume, if you read the job application, that's what they're looking for. So you see, conduct observation, one-on-one coaching, but not verbatim anyways, but written in a way that would help them see that you have the experience. Okay. So basically that's going to be it. Okay. So that's what CV Matchly does for you. Now, the good thing about CV Matchly is if I go to my dashboard, I'm going to go to my dashboard. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to go to my dashboard. All right. So I'm clicking on login and I'm going to log in. Now, with this, okay, I'm going to go to CV optimizations. And from this, I would get to see sorry, let me just sign up of this account and sign in with my own account. Sorry, let me just get a password. Sorry, I can't remember the password to it. Okay, give it a second. It's about the password nowadays that I don't remember. Okay. All right. So now this is the account I've been using today. So you see here, it tracks all your applications. So CV Matching helps you track all your applications. So you see, this is the one I just applied to, Clayton Davis. You can see this is the financial analyst role applied to. This is the business systems analyst I not applied, but I optimized. Okay. So you see all of them are in there. So you see February 13th, today. Now the good thing also is I can generate a cover letter for that role. So if this role requires me to have a cover letter, and you see this is the name of the company, this is the name of the company, this is the name of the company, this is the name of the company. So action required. So jobs, you see this download CV. I can download the CV again, generate cover letter. I can click on it and it will look at the job description, look at my resume, okay, the CV I have, the CV that has been optimized, the job description, and it will take a look at cover letter and it will develop a cover letter for you. All right. So you don't need, it's one tool that provides you with CV review, CV optimization, and cover letter generation. So once I click on view cover letter, it will design a cover letter for me. Dear IRA manager with a proven track record of developing high performing teams, of develop yeah, through data driven insights and compassion for fostering professional excellence. Excited to apply for the TNC role at your esteemed wealth management firm. The experience in leading structured training, supervising cross-functional teams, and implementing robust governance frameworks aligns closely with my mission to uphold the integrity and capability of your advisor population. So basically, it's looking at everything you have there and ensuring that you have a perfectly tailored resume. Does that make sense? Perfectly tailored resume. So resume and cover letter. So the good thing about this tracker is at any point in time, if a recruiter sends you a message and you're unsure when you apply for that role, you would have it in tracker. So most people would use Excel sheets to keep track of all the applications and all that, but this basically does everything for you. So if I want to remember, if I can't remember the job description, you see this the role here. I can just see view job, click on view job, and it takes. Oh, sorry, I think that role was. I think that one is. I'll just take a look at this, view jobs, and I would. So I think this is okay. Those ones are done already. So let's look at the one that we did today. Okay, view jobs, and it's gonna take you straight to the job itself. Okay, it's gonna take you straight to the job. So that's the one that we just did today, or any one of them. View jobs, and it's gonna take. Okay, this one's. I think the job boards. So some job boards might slightly need some adjustments, but that's something that that can be worked on. That's not a problem. So you see different job boards. You have LinkedIn, you have the ones from Indeed. So if you take a look at this one, and I see view jobs, and you see it takes you straight to the job board. This is on LinkedIn. All right. So yeah, it keeps track of all your job applications and all the things that you need to get started, and that's basically it. Now, the good thing about CV Match is it's a community. Okay, and I say this every single time. The closest person, the closest a person ever becomes in terms of perfection is when they fill out the job application form. So most times, most people don't want to apply for a job because they feel I'm not good enough. Okay, I don't have the required skills. I don't have the required experience. I don't have the required this. I don't have the required that. That's the thing that they talk about every single time. So they don't get to apply for these roles. They don't get to apply for jobs because they feel they are not perfect enough. They are not good enough. Okay. So what about if I get the job and I can't deliver? I usually tell people, why don't you get the job first? That becomes the problem. Okay. But you cannot have the problem. You cannot be dwelling on the problem when the problem doesn't exist. Does that make sense? You have not gotten the job, but you are worrying that if you get the job, you would not be able to perform. What kind of worry is that? That's a waste of worry. Okay? And the Bible also says, don't worry about anything. All right. But even if you want to worry, I mean, worry when it is desired. Okay, in the sense that let that thing come. Okay, then you can worry. But before that thing, particular thing happens, don't worry. So you are scared that if you get a job, you may not deliver. Get the job first, and let's see what happens. All right. So you see, I want you to talk about the CV Matching exclusive community. Okay, where we provide you with one-on-one guidance and guarantees in terms of you getting a job. All right. So what we're going to do, okay, is the community will give you access to CV Matching for 6 months for free at no cost. Okay. It comes with one-on-one CV review. All right, so we'll help you revamp your CV. So what we did today was just a tip of the iceberg. Okay, so we'll do a review and revamp. Take a look at your experience. Take a look at where you're coming from. Oh, I'm coming from the medical space. I want to pivot into this career. Or I've been in the UK for this number of years, but I want to change my career to this career. We're going to take a look at all your past experiences and tailor it perfectly for the role that you want to go into. So one-on-one, you get this personalized encounter essentially. Same thing with LinkedIn optimization, one-on-one LinkedIn optimization. You also get how to navigate the job market. Now, take for example the HR analyst. For example, the HR analyst. I mean, you love HR. That's good. Okay, so you can focus on HR analyst, talent analyst. There's so many other roles that you can focus on that has to do with talent. Okay, but doesn't carry the title talent in any way. And that's exactly what we teach you in terms of how to navigate the job market. We also have interview preparation. So once you get an interview, we will also prepare you for those interviews. And trust me, that's exactly what makes it successful. Okay. And last but not the least, this is the guarantee that we're going to give to you that we're going to give you a lifetime support even after 6 months if you don't get a job. So in that 6 months duration, if you don't get a job in 6 months, we'll continue to work with you until you get a job. That's the guarantee that we're saying. So in that 6 months, you put in all your efforts, you applied, you didn't get a job in 6 months, we're going to continue to work with you until you get a job at no cost, no additional cost, nothing at all. We'll continue to work with you until you get a job. And that's the guarantee that we have for you. All right. So essentially, CV, the community is definitely not free. Okay. We are only taking in a maximum of 10 people for this particular session, for this particular community run. All right. So it's a 6 month job accelerator program. Rather than going for $250, okay, currently going for $90, as low as $90 in two installments, anyways. You're going to be paying that in two installments of $90 this month and $90 next month. Even in the UK, that's going to be £90 this month, £90 next month. All right, and that's essentially the case. It's only available for the first 10 people. Remember, it's personalized experience. So we're not bringing in a bunch of 70, 20, 200 people. Laser focused on bringing in people that we want to work with that will guarantee success. So even looking at working with us, I mean, it's just for you to click here for you to join. Okay. So the $90, I'm going to explain that in a few minutes. So the link for this, I'm going to send it to the chat now. Okay. So if you want to join the community, all you need to do is secure your space as soon as possible. We're only taking in 10 people. That's the max, so limited support available. So once after 10 people, everything will be blurred out and you won't be able to pay anymore. So CV Matchley, a year from now, you'll either be better in a better role, or you'll still be telling yourself, I'm trying my best. And that's essentially what's going to be the case. So all you need to do is claim your spot, okay? Claim your spot. Now there's a further discount, okay, for a one-time payment of $130. So rather than paying 180 in 2 months, you could actually pay 130 in one installment, okay, and you're good to go. Okay, so $130, that's £130, and you're done. Okay, 6 month access, lifetime support, and everything that you have there. All right. So once you have that, you can click on get started. Put in your name, put in your phone number, your email, your phone number, password, and continue. You don't worry. It doesn't change anything. So like in this situation, I'm just gonna put in my email. I'm gonna put in all right, put in the phone number, password. I'm just gonna put in like a password, any password. You can type in your own password, what password you feel like you want to work with. All right, continue to secure checkout. So once you have that, it's going to take you straight to the payment page. Okay. So you can pay with link or you can pay without a link. Okay. Or you can pay without a link. So once you do that, you can put in the card information, put in all the card information that you need, and go ahead to make your payment. Okay. So once you made your payment, um, once you have made your payment, it's going to take you directly to the confirmation page. All right. Now, this confirmation page is where you can get to join the community. Okay, so after you make your payment, you would be redirected to this page where you would need to join the community. So you see join community, click on join, and it takes you straight to the WhatsApp community. So, like I said, we're only accepting just 10 people for this timeline for us to work with you. So, welcome to CV Monthly. Go to your dashboard, book your first session. You see all these things are there. So opening a new tab, I'm going to go to open a new tab and opening a new tab. Okay. So WhatsApp community, this one takes you straight to the job starter community, and that's where we get to work with you. So like I said, in 6 months, if you don't register, if you don't get a job in 6 months, within that 6 month duration, we'll continue to work with you until you get a job. It's as simple as that. That's our guarantee for you. All right. So yeah, I mean that's basically it. So if you're looking at getting started, you can start now as low as $90. Okay. That's for 2 months installment, and you get access to all the personalized feedback, CV review, link optimization, and job guarantee that we're gonna work with you until you get a job. That's exactly what the situation is. And if at any time you have any issues in this process, you'll see matchly.ai. That's where you can send us an email, and that's it. All right. So I have one person raising up there. Esther, you've been raising up your hand for a while now. So let me just take your question, and then we'll see if we can wrap it up in like 5, 10 minutes. Okay. Esther, yes, go ahead, please. You're unmuted. You're muted, or you can go ahead to unmute yourself. All right. Does anybody have any question apart from Esther? I think Esther is the only person that has a hand raised. Okay. Does anybody have a question? Any question at all? Any Collins? Yes, Collins. Let me hear from you.
Yeah, my question is this 90 pounds, when this $90, when I convert it to pounds, should I pay in pounds equivalent?
So the way it works, it doesn't. So the guys in the US, currently I'm in Canada, I'm seeing it in dollars. So if you are if you're in the UK, you would also see it in pounds. So it's going to be in 90 pounds. It's not going to be a direct, what do you call it? It's not going to be a direct conversion, if I'd say that. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for that, Collins. So it's not geo specific. So for the guys in Canada, it's $90. For the guys in the pound in the UK, it's £90. For the guys in Germany, €90. Okay, so it's not cast in stone like exchange rates and all that. And the reason why they have there is just because of exchange rate fluctuations. All right, within the market. So at the end of the day, that's the situation. So like I said, regardless of your location, regardless of what you're looking at, even looking at working with us to see how we can work with you to get a job, that's exactly what you are. So tailored, personalized feedback that will guarantee that you get the offer that you're looking for. That's what we're looking at. That's Uzo. I remember.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask a bit of an obvious question. I'm sure a lot of people have this same question here. What is the difference between this service that you offer and just using the ChatGPT subscription or any of the AI
Yeah.
models? Yeah.
All right. Very good question. So I mean, everybody has access, they have access to CV, what do you call it, to ChatGPT, for example. Now, the key thing here is personalized feedback. Number one. Number two is how do you does does ChatGPT prepare you for an interview, for example? Now, it can give you potential questions, okay, and it can tell you potentially how you can, answer those questions. But at the end of the day, does it listen to you to tell you what you need to do? All right, that's in terms of interview preparation. Now, the other thing is navigating the job market. How do you navigate the job market with ChatGPT? Okay, so take for example, you're looking at IT support desk. Somebody's looking at becoming an IT support desk. How does ChatGPT help them navigate the job market on what type of roles they should apply to, how they should tailor their resume, how they should put themselves, how they should position themselves on LinkedIn, for example, to get more opportunities. So is this personalized feedback that makes it better? All right, significantly better. Now, just to write on what I said earlier, okay, when I started the session. So take for example, I mean, the whole essence of you speaking to somebody is follow Uno road, follow the person that knows the way. In the sense that when I was applying for jobs initially, I always got rejection emails. It only took me speaking to one lady at the time, one lady at the time, and that changed my trajectory from so many rejections to fewer rejections. Okay, so if you're using ChatGPT today, have you been successful? If you've been successful, then most likely you don't need this. Okay, all right. But if you've not been successful using ChatGPT to tailor a resume to get interviews, to pass interviews, to get a job, then this is where personalized feedback comes in. The human will look at your situation and tell you exactly what you need to do to get better. And that's essentially it. And that's the reason why we're not doing a lot of people, all right? So that you can get that tailor-made experience at the end of the day to get you what you're looking for. I don't know if I answered your question, Uzo. Yeah,
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
awesome. Yeah, that's it. All right, very good questions. Esther, do you want to go ahead with your question? You pulled out your hand and you raised it up again. You can unmute yourself if you're speaking. Can't hear you. All right. Okay. Esther is not speaking. So, like I said, it's only limited for the first 10 people. And you need to be part of the first 10 people because we're going to work with you till you get your required job. All right. That's the lifestyle support that we guarantee. Shegun, yes. Shegun Kapo.
Yeah, if you, hi there.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you for this session here. I just want to ask you because I joined very late, so I just want to ask: are we getting the video recording of this session for those of us who joined late.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if you fill the
Oh,
form,
thank you.
fill the attendance. So we don't have any of the information. So you just need to fill the attendance, and we would send an email to you with the recording of the session. Is that okay?
Yeah, very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. Also. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I thought I was going to be done with this in an hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, but now this is an hour, 36 minutes. But I'm pretty sure you had a wonderful time regardless. Okay. Looking forward to having you guys on board. It's an exclusive community of where you work with us and we work with you to see how you can get you a job at the end of the day within that 6 months duration. It doesn't pay us to keep you past 6 months, honestly, but we'll try to work with you as hard as possible to get you a job in 6 months. So if you're looking at working with us to get interviews, to get to the job eventually, and lifetime support, that's exactly what we do for you. So we're taking a very big risk saying that in 6 months you will get a job, or work with you till you get a job. And that's exactly what we guarantee. Yeah. So if you're looking at getting started, this is exactly what you need. Okay. So thank you. Oh, okay, Uzo, yeah. I can
Sorry,
see.
one last question, just maybe slightly off topic. There are some platforms out there who offer somewhat similar services. Not trying to compare or anything, yes, but I think one of the added one add-on they tend to put on is job application. I mean, of course, after tailoring CV, then there's a dedicated team that sort of looks out for this vacancies that sort of match the CVs and just spam, well, for lack of a better word, spam applications, just based off of that. Is that based off of the candidate's profile or where we're looking? Is that a service you guys offer? That's
No. So we don't do spamming. We don't do that. So
sorry, when I say spamming,
I get like we don't do like dedicated, what to call it, dedicated job applications for you and so on and so forth. So that's not something that we're really focused on. The reason why that is for yeah, I mean it works for some people, and from all those AI, AI robo apply and all that. It's anyways, I'm not sure how successful those things are, but from my own personal experience, it's just better you doing this, okay? And let me just thank you very much for this question. So I would explain something very quickly. There's a job application mathematics that people don't know, and that's what has worked for me. What has worked with people that I've worked with. And that's essentially what continue to work. So there's a job application mathematics that people don't understand. So take for example, you send out, let's say every day you're able to do 10 applications. Okay. Let's say in applications. In a week, in 1 week, okay, it means that you've churned out 70 application. Okay. Now out of this 70 application in a week, in just 1 week, in these 70 applications, how many of them did a recruiter call you? That's a recruiter call. How many of them did you get as a recruiter call? Okay. How many of them was a recruiter call? Now, out of this, let's say out of this 70 that you threw out, let's say you got about 8, okay, recruiter calls, okay. Within that, maybe the next week, let's say by the next week, you got about 8 in total. Now, out of these 8, okay, how many interviews did you land? So it's not everybody that calls you that would eventually book you for an interview. So let's say out of this particular one, okay, out of 8, how many of them picked you up for an interview? Let's say base case, half of them, okay? Base case, 4 interviews were landed. Out of these 4 interviews, okay, how many of them did you get to the final stage? Okay, let's say 2. Okay, it means that you have a 50% chance, okay, from 70 applications, you have a 50% chance of getting maybe one offer. You have a 50% chance of getting one offer. Okay, from 10 applications in a week, 70 applications, 8 recruiter calls, 4 interviews, 2 calls, 2 final interviews, and then eventually one offer. Potentially, It could actually be zero also, because it's very possible for these two to not work out. Now, what are we looking at? We're looking for a 6 month duration for us to work with you. 6 months duration. I don't even need up to 6 months. If you're very hardworking and you're willing to get to work with us, you don't need 6 months. Basically, you need between 3 to 6 weeks of quality applications. So in 3 weeks, if you do 10 applications in a day, so that's about what? 70 times 3. That's 210 applications. All right? In 3 weeks, 210 applications. Out of that 210 applications, let's say from this 8 and multiply it again by 3. Okay? Then this, multiply it again by 3, multiply it again by 3. And that's how you know that. At the end of the day, the quality, okay, plus the volume of your application, the quality and volume is the mathematics, okay, will then determine. So when you do the first week, you can know how many percentage from your application turns to a recruiter call. How many recruiter calls did you have? How many percent? What's the percentage that guarantees you an interview? What's the percentage of you having those interviews? How many of them would you get to a final interview? What's the percentage? So the moment you know this percentage is basic mathematics. The moment you know this mathematics, it's easier for us to tailor-made something for you that guarantees you this offer at the end of the day. All right. So if you go there and just go to Robo Apply, they say Robo apply to 70 jobs in a day. Robo Apply will just be doing that for you. So either easy apply on LinkedIn or just quality, maybe 40% quality. Okay. Volume, 1000% volume. Okay. All right. By the end of the day, out of 70 in a day and in a week, okay, Robo Apply will do that. That's 490 job applications. Maybe you get 3 interviews. All right. And that's the way you cascade it down. And nobody's prepping you for interviews. It's Robo Apply gonna prepare you for an interview. The best of them all, okay, will probably give you potential questions in which ChatGPT will give to you also. All right. But now, potential questions. How do you answer the question? Maybe some of them will provide you with potential answers also. So with potential answers, okay, how do you structure it? So take, for example, somebody says they've always been working as a customer service representative, customer service. You've always been working in customer service. All your life is customer service. Okay. But I'm tired of customer service. If you mean now, I want to become an HR analyst. I want to become an HR analyst. Robo Apply will apply for 70 HR analyst role for you in 90 days. You have 7 interviews coming up and give you potential questions, potential answers. You are likely going to flunk. It's 100% because it's fluffy. It doesn't hold any weight. It doesn't hold any weight because nobody's there to supervise. Nobody's there to tell you what to do to improve, how to answer questions, how to position yourself better, and all the things that you're looking at. So this person, like a customer service analyst or customer service representative looking to pivot into HR, will just find it frustrating because they're going to be getting some interviews, but at the end of the day, they can't convert it because Robo Apply is not going to teach them what to do better. Okay? And now, majority of this platform that uses Robo AI Apply that helps you AI to apply for the jobs for you. Also, some of these roles are even outdated. Okay? So if you go on LinkedIn, there's no need for you to be looking at applying for these jobs that are 2 days old. So jobs that came out 2 days ago, please ignore them. There are other strategies that you need to deploy. That's for paid community. Okay? So there are other things that you can do. Like I said, quality and volume, 78, you can determine the percentage of these things. Okay? And at the end, you know exactly the maths you need to have to get your offer. And that's essentially the case. Does that make sense? I hope this answers your question in any way. But like I said, this is the expert guidance you're paying for that gets you the tailor-made, you're somebody you can talk to. Robo Apply will just apply for you. Robo Apply will just apply. And at the end of the day, you just say, robot, I don't know. I'm just using robot apply. I think there's robots, there's AI apply. There's so many of them out there, honestly, at this point in time. And I lose track of it. But I mean, at the end of the day, you pay for it, and they said they apply for jobs for you. Apply for 300 jobs in a day for you. They will do that. Does that guarantee you a job? I said we are working with you till you get a job. That's more weight than would apply for all the jobs in the world for you. Okay. So I mean, it's limited community slots alone. Okay. So if you're looking at working with us, we are also willing to working with you. And I will say it again, it doesn't pay us to keep you for more than 6 months. But we're willing to take on that risk to say that we'll continue to work with you even after 6 months until you get a job. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. Do have a wonderful weekend, and looking forward to working with a few of you that are willing to work with us also. Thank you very much. Do have a wonderful weekend. You can check me out on LinkedIn if you are a bit skeptical about getting started. Okay, check me out on LinkedIn. Check out CV Martley. Check out my other businesses, Tenalytics, Amdari. These are businesses I've built in the last 5 years. I've helped people transition into the tech space. But this time around, I want to do more for people outside of the tech space. So if you're not even in the tech space, can you get a job? I can guarantee you that I'm going to work with you till you get a job. So that's essentially the case. Thank you very much, everyone. Do have a wonderful weekend. And my LinkedIn, just check me. My name is Ifemena Epro. That's my name on LinkedIn also. Ifemena Epro. So you see me on LinkedIn. You see my name down there. All right. So just check me out. Thank you very much, everyone. Do have a wonderful week and weekend. Sorry. Do have a wonderful weekend. And bye for now. Cheers.